press the button, subscribe.
Fight fans, welcome, and today we have got a very special preview show of a fantastic fight that is happening on May the 10th, Saturday night, live from Nottingham. And I'm glad to say that last weekend's of boxing has gone, the dross has gone, we're back to good old British boxing, and I've got a great cast with me. I've got Jams from Red Corner Boxing and Mr. Neutral. Jams first, how you doing, mate?
I'm really good, Darren. Thank you, mate. Pleasure to be on Sir Chat About Boxing again. I hope you're feeling better, mate, after the sad passing of your father. God bless.
Thank you very much, mate. And Neutral, how you doing, mate?
I'm very well, thank you, Darren. Glad to be back on Sir Chat About Boxing. You're back up and strong, going strong, pal.
We certainly are, and it's fantastic to have you both on. And I thought there's no better way to get you both on than look at this fantastic fight coming Saturday night, May the 10th, as I said, from Nottingham. It's IBO World Super Featherweight title, Anthony Cacace versus Lee Wood. We've got Anthony Cacace, 24 fights, 23 wins, 8 KOs. Lee Wood, 31 fights, 28 wins, 17 KOs. Jams, I'll come to you first. A lot of people are calling this a 50-50 fight. First of all, do you see it that way?
I do, mate. I do completely, yeah. Like, my love for Lee Wood makes me want to say Lee Wood's going to do it in front of the Nottingham crowd. You know, it's his people's, it's his big moment, but it's been inactive for 2 years almost, like 18, 19 months. It's a big ass, mate. Anthony Cacace's on the crest of a wave. He's in real good form at the moment. I don't know, man, and it's just, I think Cacace's just on a spiral at the moment that's going to take him through Lee Wood, even in his own backyard. I think I went for a split decision on the prediction league, so I think it's going to be close, but I think Cacace's going to have the business and he's going to do the business in Nottingham on Saturday night.
So you're not going to change at all your prediction? You can on my channel, not on yours, but you can on mine. No changes, no?
I can't, mate. I would love to change it and say Lee Wood's going to do it. I want Lee Wood to do it, but I just don't think he will. I think Anthony Cacace for me is a lock, though. Is a lock.
Neutral, do you think this is a 50-50 fight?
Oh, very much so, Darren, very much so. I mean, if you look at the styles of the fight, the two fighters, one's a very fast hands in Cacace. You know, he uses his left as a feeder, tries to put off his opponent, and he comes in with a right. His power belies his knockout record. He's actually a very, very hard hitter. And but what he tends to do is he beats down his opponent over 12 rounds for me. Lee Wood, though, is a high IQ in the pocket. He doesn't like to be too far away from you because he overwhelms you with punches, as you saw in his last fight against Josh Warrington, leading up to that TKO. If you look for a line through the two, Cacace beats up Warrington, Lee Wood knocks him out. These two negate each other for me in the pocket fight, 12 rounds, and I'm going to go against my good friend Jams. I think it's going to be a split decision the other way. And by the way, it's just great for me to have a prediction, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, you haven't had one for a while, have you, mate?
You know,
he gets to host, but not to give his predictions, bless him. He holds in there, and everyone else give their predictions, but never.
If it's last spell boxing, I get accused of not, not being hard enough to give a prediction, but no, I've gone that. I think Lee Wood will nick it on home ground by a very tough fight, but just by a split decision. That's right.
Do you think Anthony Cacace's southpaw style could cause Lee Wood some problems?
Yes. Lee Wood found that out. I can't remember which fight it was now. I was watching it on his highlights.
Was it Mauricio Lara?
No.
He lost that one, but then he got the win in the second one, didn't he?
Yeah.
He struggled then with the left jab, like constant in his face. Well, he really struggled in that first fight.
That's what I'm going to say, because if Cacace's Curt, he's a counter puncher. He'll let Lee Wood come on, because Lee Wood likes to fight in the pocket. He doesn't like fighting at long range. So, and that's where Cacace, if he matches Lee Wood's IQ and his determination, and he does over 12 rounds. This could be potentially fight of the year, gentlemen. And, as you quite rightly said, thank God the dross has gone from America, and we're back on UK soil for some action.
Absolutely, mate. So even though you both think it's going the distance, you're still expecting an explosive fight from the two of them.
Absolutely.
I think there'll be a couple of put downs, Darren. I think both men could even go down at some point. I think it's going to be that kind of seesaw battle where both men are hurt. One rises to the crowd like Lee Wood, I'm assuming, gets up and just fights to the death and survives, but then gets robbed on, well, not robbed, but gets beaten on a very tight decision. And that's why I went for the prediction I did. I just think Cacace at the moment is just too on that hype train. He's too comfortable at the moment. He's not lost for a while. He only lost to Martin J. Ward, was that 2017? He's confident. He's going in there sharp. He's going to be putting hands on Lee Wood. Lee Wood's not fought for nearly 2 years, as I said earlier. It's going to be tough for him to compete with Cacace when you're coming off a layoff like that. And that's what worries me. Otherwise, I'd be going Lee Wood all day.
Well, there is, as you say, there is so many potential outcomes in this fight. I mean, we're here to give our predictions. It could go so many different ways with points, wins, KOs, and all this. But the one thing you picked up on there again was the inactivity. I think that could be a vital point with this fight, the inactivity of Lee Wood. And that's why I would probably edge my bets and say Anthony Cacace will win this on a unanimous decision. I just think he'll be able to have the boxing IQ to stay out of trouble and avoid Lee Wood. And I also think Lee Wood, even though he's got that grit and determination to go through the rounds and come on late and, stop people like he did Josh Warrington. Let's be honest about a lot of that fight. Josh Warrington was outboxing Lee Wood a lot of that fight until Lee Wood found the equaliser. But I just think Lee Wood potentially also could get caught as well. We've known him to get caught several times. Does he take a shot well? He gets dropped, he gets back up, but does he take a shot that well? There's that question. Anthony Cacace, not really known as a puncher, 8 KOs in 24 fights. That's why I think I would go Anthony Cacace to win this on a unanimous decision. I think he'll have enough boxing IQ to avoid Lee Wood, who's been inactive since 2023, as you say. But the southpaw stance of Anthony Cacace, I think, could also pose Lee Wood some problems as well. But
sorry to interrupt you, Dan. I completely agree, mate. I completely agree with you there. And the thing is as well, Lee Wood, he can take a punch and get back up, but he doesn't do that well after usually, does he? It tends to be a survival mode after that. And I would have gone for the UD the same as you for Cacace, but only because it's in Nottingham that I'm going for one scorecard to go a little bit amiss.
No, I get what you're saying, and we all know what home fighters are like with the judges, but I just think Anthony Cacace will be too far wide on the scorecards to be able for it to be like that. Not mainly because of, but I think the inactivity of Lee Wood is going to be a big factor, and we also haven't mentioned he's stepping up in weight as well. So that's a thing about this fight. But Lee Wood is always game to the end. I don't see a knockout coming. There could be maybe potentially a couple of knockdowns, but I do think Cacace will win this unanimously. And I don't particularly really see it as a 50-50 fight, but I do think it'll be a cracker of a domestic showdown. So I'm really looking forward to it. And a quick point about what you said there as well, Jams. Like you say, Cacace is definitely in the momentum at the minute with his wins lately. I mean, that Cordina, he was a massive outsider to win that fight, wasn't he? And he got huge. Yeah, he got the stoppage. So exciting times on Saturday night. It should be an explosive fight. All three of us are predicting a brilliant fight. So get tuning in Saturday night on DAZN, and remember it's Queensbury. I think it's their second show, is it, on DAZN? Yeah. This one.
Yes, it's Heavy Impact.
Yeah, brilliant show, and it looks like it's very close to a sellout, and I expect it to be a sellout come fight night.
I'd agree.
But we're going to look at the 3 undercard fights as well. And the first one I'm going to come to is Ezra Taylor versus Troy Jones, the battle of the undefeateds. And it's for the vacant WBA Continental Light Heavyweight title. Ezra Taylor, 11 fights, 11 wins.
The gold. It's the gold title.
The gold title, yeah. And then you've got Troy Jones, 12 fights, 12 wins, 6 KOs. I think Ezra Taylor's got 8 KOs, I think it was. I expect this to be good white lass. I'll come to you first, Neutral. How do you see this fight going?
Well, first and foremost, styles make fights, Dan. He's a range fighter for me, Ezra Taylor. He likes to set up the big, massive right hand that he possesses behind that jab, and but he'll go low to execute that. And when he goes low to the left, for me, he's susceptible to uppercuts. I've seen that in a couple of his fights, but that's gonna be this is a step up fight for him as much as it is for his opponent on Saturday night. So he's got a lot to prove, but he is improving rapidly through, and he's got 8 knockouts now from his 12 fights. If we go, is Troy Jones. Now, he's a big, tall, 175-pounder. And he's another mid-range power, but he doesn't have the power for me of Ezra Taylor, albeit with his knockout ratio. Watching him, he drops his guard when he's confident. Yeah. But he goes to the body with lefts and rights and lefts. So if he gets confident during the fight, he could start scoring against Ezra Taylor, who's always looking for that big right bomb. Most of the prediction leagues have gone for an Ezra Taylor knockout. But I'm not so sure. I really am not so sure. Because Troy Jones, for me, is a beatdown fighter. And if he gets the better of in the exchanges as the rounds go on, he'll start racking up the points. But I'm going for Ezra Taylor by stoppage early rounds, because if he goes on later than that, I'm going to edge it towards Troy Jones.
Brilliant analysis there, mate. Thanks for that. And Jams, how do you see this fight going, mate?
Yeah, I see it going the same finale as Mr. Neutral. You got to remember, though, Troy Jones is the current English champion. Like, we know it's for this gold strap, the WBA Continental Gold Light Heavyweight title, which means something. It brings forward them international titles, them interim titles. It gets you closer to the British title. It gets you closer to other titles that Ezra Taylor and Troy Jones are going to want. It's a massive step up for both of these fighters. Neither one of them have fought anyone like each other.
Yep,
this
totally
is a huge step up for the Cannon and for Troy Jones. If you look through their record, Troy Jones did beat Leon Willings, who's a tough competitor, as we all know. We've seen what he did. He can have a great row. I just think Ezra Taylor's just got that snap, that bang, that absolute detonation, that absolute leveler. And I believe, like Mr. Neutral said, if it's going to happen, it'll happen earlier. I can see him starting him within 3 or 4. Ezra Taylor, the Cannon.
Yeah, I can both see. Exactly where you're coming from and them points of view. I mean, for me, I don't think there is going to be that much in the fight. I think it's going to be a pretty simple. I think Ezra Taylor's going to have too much power. I think that's all it's going to come down to against Troy Jones. I don't think there'll be too much in the fight, but I just think Ezra Taylor at some point will find that equaliser and stop Troy Jones. But I think it'll be about rounds 5 to 6. And I was just going to have a look. I am right. It's a 10 rounder, isn't it? So I rounds 5 to 6. I think Ezra Taylor will get the stoppage, but you are correct, Jams. It's a big step up for both fighters, and this is what we like to see: competitive fights, putting their undefeated records on the line, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid to lose, and they can come again. This is what we like to see. We've had so many debates in boxing where fighters are scared to lose that and don't want to fight certain people. This is great to see. 11 and 12 fights in their career. Brilliant.
No padding of records here, Darren, bro.
These O's gotta go.
Yeah, no padding going on. There's no padding records here.
No, that's it, Neutral.
No Shakur business.
Exactly that, mate. Well, the next fight is going to be Liam Davis versus Curt Walker for a vacant IBF international title. Liam Davis, 17 fights, 16 wins, 8 KOs. Curt Walker, 12 fights, 12 wins, 2 KOs. So Curt Walker, undefeated. Liam Davis goes into this fight as a big favourite. Another good fight for me. But I just think Liam Davis, with his style, eventually will wear Curt Walker down. I was going to say originally I think it would be to a points decision, but I do think Liam Davis will get the stoppage as the later rounds comes on, just simply by wearing Curt Walker down. I mean, Curt Walker, 2 KOs in 12 fights. I don't really see him being able to have the power to put a dent in Liam Davis. I mean, Liam Davis' last fight lost to Shabazz Massoud, but Shabazz Massoud, very, very skillful fighter, who really totally outclassed Liam Davis.
From your neck of the woods, isn't he?
He is, yeah, Telford, yeah, not too far from me. So for his power, I don't see Curt Walker being able to keep Liam Davis off or having the skill of like the likes of Shabazz Masood. So I'm going to go Liam Davis late TKO here. What do you say, Jams?
Yeah, I think Liam Davis, mate, just because he lost to Shabazz Masood, people have forgot how good he is. Remember, people were talking about one day him fighting Inoue and stuff.
Yeah.
People genuinely were talking about that. Rico mainly, but I'll give Rico a shout out. Big at Rico. But yeah, people were talking about him being that good that one day he might fight the monster. So you can't just because you lost one fight to a very good and a very accomplished Shabazz Masood all of a sudden stop being a good competitor.
Yeah.
Liam Davis is levels above Curt Walker. No disrespect to Curt Walker. This is a mismatch in reality. If this fight would have happened a year ago, you'd be laughing at it.
Do you
know what
really?
I mean? You would genuinely be sitting there chuckling to yourself like, yeah, he's 12-0, but who's he fought? He beat
Yeah.
Leon Woodstock. Other
Yeah.
than that, who else?
I do agree with you
on
on
the guy on his resume, really.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that because of the Shabazz Masood defeat. Obviously, it makes it like a bit more of an interesting fight now. But before then, yeah, you would have been saying
You
it's a
would have laughed.
mismatch.
You'd have said, oh, he's going miles backwards. He's gone back 2-3 years in his career. You know what I mean?
But it's very
of course, once you lose, you've got to get back on the platform, and the platform is to beat an undefeated guy. So they say, oh, he's good again. And then he'll get some more chances, and we'll see him where he actually belonged to be.
Yeah, very clever matchmaking to try and get a victory over an undefeated fighter. Good matchmaking.
That's it, mate. Yeah. Curt Walker just hasn't got the power to keep him off. You know, 2 stoppages from 12 wins. He's not got the power. Liam Davis has got 50% knockout power. I'm still going to go Davis UD because Curt Walker can take a punch and he can handle himself. So I'm actually going to go UD. You know, Davis might be a little bit gun shy coming off a defeat. He's not going to want to overreach. He's not going to overcomplicate it. He's just going to make sure he absolutely masterclasses him. So that's why I went for the UD for Liam Davis on this one.
Fair enough. Neutral, do you see any different? Do you see a Curt Walker win at all?
Oh, yeah, baby. I have to disagree with my compadre in crime.
Really?
I really do. Look, let's go back to the prediction leagues. Oh, the League One and the League Two, apart from one professional boxer, I might add, Jams, called Jack the Punk Kid Hughes.
Yeah.
Who has gone.
We know him, the wild predictor.
What's he gone for?
I'll let you tell him that, right? Snitching on yourself there. But look.
I know. It's all good, bro. It's in 4K, bro. I'm caught.
Let me take the glasses off. Let me break this down for you very, very quickly. You know, I like this fight. I really do. You know, Liam Davis, tough as he come, that last fight with Masood was a brilliant fight. But for me, he's very technical, very economical. But for me, he's a bit stiff all the way through 12 rounds. He'll not change. He'll use the same combinations. And Masood caught wind of that really early in that fight. And there was and because he was taller, rangier, fighting from range, you know, Liam Davis made that a really tough fight. You can forgive him the loss being at IBO level, but Masood, you know, he, you know, going for that British level. You are right, Jams. He is stepping up in class, is Curt Walker. But look, he's very much the same boxer like Masood. Long to mid-range. He's big for 122 like Masood was. You know, for me, he should be up the featherweight.
Yeah,
he comes behind a left-right jab, a left jab with the right, and he keeps you busy from range. And I think Liam Davis, rather like the Masood fight, could find another tall boxer like this and a bit of a problem. And who knows, is he inspired by Aaron McKenna and the way he dealt with Liam Smith in that ring? Being a far more experienced boxer, this Aaron McKenna, nobody give him a chance. Rather like this fight. Does likely strike twice in the space of 2 weeks. Who knows? I am going for Walker split decision. Mr. Neutral stands behind it. Thank you.
And that's what we like to see. Difference of opinions. We've been waiting for something like that, Neutral. So
up red corner boxing there.
That's it.
Go on, Mr. Neutral.
We'll watch back all these and play these. See who's right, who's wrong.
Make some shorts out of it, Darren. Make some shorts out of it, brother.
Jams will never let me come on the prediction show again.
Well, we'll have to because you're the host, bro.
Yeah.
You've been banished to the cauldrons.
That's it. Right, last fight then. Super welterweight contest. Owen Cooper versus Chris Congo. Owen Cooper, 11 fights, 10 wins, 4 KOs. Chris Congo, 19 fights, 17 wins, 2 losses, 7 KOs. Super welterweight. I think this...
Is it a super or is it a welter, Darren?
I thought it was super. Am I
I know
wrong?
Chris Congo's normally a super welter, but I think it's a welter.
Is it?
147.
This welterweight.
Yeah, 147.
Did I say...
You said super.
Oh, sorry, apologies.
That's all right, mate.
That's what we like when we've got other boxing colleagues on. They can correct me.
That's all right. Normally, Chris Congo has been fighting at 154 lately, but he's back down at 147 for this title fight.
Okay.
Well, for this fight, should I say? It's not really a title fight.
Okay, so it's welter, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
yeah.
147,
okay.
brother.
Okay. Well, I'll come to you first then, Jams. How do you see this fight going?
Pretty similar to the last one, brother.
I would say, as regards the undercard, this is probably one of my confident bets as regards the result here and how it will pan out.
Yeah, I think Chris Congo's too experienced, too long in the tooth. I think it's going to be a wide UD. I just think Owen Cooper's they both lost to Echo Esserman. Obviously, Owen Cooper got starched by him in the 10th round. Chris Congo lost the MD, didn't he, majority decision. But his only other loss was to Mikey McKinson, who, by the way, is a massively slept-on fighter. Michael McKinson is an absolute one of the best boxers in Britain. But yet he doesn't get any opportunities because he lost to that Mbenje character. And he had one loss before that to Virgil Ortiz Jr. So I just want to give a shout-out to Mikey McKinson. Why he's not getting decent fights is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. But anyway, back to Chris Congo, Owen Cooper.
I thought it was going to be time for a Jams rant then.
Yeah, no. I was getting there, bro. I was getting there, but I don't want to spoil your show. You know what I mean?
No worries.
It's not going to be nothing like the bloody Kamara Dubois one. I tell
you,
that
I remember that.
A lifetime moment, man. That fight just needed to be told as it was. It was garbage.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chris Congo's going to be too experienced, mate. He's too good. He's been through too many battles. He's got the age, he's got the experience, he's got the man strength. Everything about him tells me, everything about the fight tells me he's going to dominate this. Absolutely wide UD from start to finish. Cooper will show heart, but that's all he'll show. He'll get absolutely outclassed by Chris Congo. Too slick.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, there's a common opponent, as you say, Echo Esserman. Esserman stopped Owen Cooper, I believe it was in the last round, and then
the 10th.
Yeah, and Congo lost a majority decision. It was a close fight. But yeah, when you look at previous opponents, I think Congo's just fought the better class. Owen Cooper stepped up to fight Echo Esserman, stepped up in class. He got a little bit, he did okay, but he got a little bit found out. I just think Congo will, I don't like to use the words box his head off, but I think this could be a very, very easy night unanimous decision for Chris Congo. He's neutral going to disagree with us on that one, or is he?
No,
well, he's going to be looking forward to Echo Esserman Josh Taylor, isn't he? He's going to want to see Echo Esserman get his comeuppance for beating these two when he fights his fellow Glaswegian Josh Taylor.
That's it, mate,
soon.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think Esserman is stepping up in massive levels for that fight, even though, Josh is fought at 140.
Yeah.
But, obviously getting back to this fight, I mean, Owen Cooper, he's a frustrating fighter, because he has got so much going for him. Watching his last fight, he loves fighting in the pocket. And do you know what's really good about him? When he's up, he's very comfortable up against the ropes. So he'll cover up. And his inside work is brilliant. And his left hand is good. So he's another one that likes to fight in the pocket. But Chris Congo's not that kind of boxer.
Mm.
He's a jabber. He's fighting at range, And let's not forget, he was the WBC Silver Intercontinental Champion. He was the British champion. So this is a massive step up for Owen. I do have stamina issues with him because he was absolutely gone against Houston.
He was.
And Chris, he was unlucky with a split decision. So just through that line alone, you've got to fancy Chris. But if he's having an off night against Owen Cooper, although he got beat, he's one of them typical Brits. He's straight back in there. He doesn't care. He's been beaten, right? It's okay. I'm going to give you a war no matter what. But Chris Congo, what's worried me about him is his last 2 fights have been 6 rounders. I don't understand that from a 10 rounder.
It's all he could get. It's all he could get.
Going back to 2 6 rounders. That's why he's had to stay busy. So it's nice to see.
He was on the 5 warm-up week card, weren't he, in Riyadh?
That's right. It's nice to see him actually get a 10 rounder on a decent undercard, and it's a very good undercard on Saturday night. It's going to be a great night of British boxing talent. But I'm going for a Chris Congo stoppage.
Stoppage, nice.
Mid round.
Okay, that's brilliant. And one thing I did forget to mention, obviously, Owen Cooper, he's got a very, very good following. I remember going to watch, I think he was on the undercard of Liam Davis. I went to at Telford, and it was Peony or something. And Owen Cooper's fans, they made a great load of noise, and he's got a really, really good following. So
good ticket seller.
He is, yeah. Nottingham not far for him to travel either, so his fans will be in their droves there. So it's like as we all agreed, last week's boxing was a load of shite. It's good to be back on British soil.
Yeah.
Great British boxing at its best this weekend, hopefully. We're all expecting an explosive fight in the main event. It's a solid undercard as well. It's live on DAZN Saturday, May the 10th. We're expecting a really, really good, solid night, and put last week's crap behind us. I want to thank you both for coming on as well, Jams. Thanks once again for coming on my show, mate. Really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure.
And Neutral as well. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thank you, mate. Absolute pleasure.
And keep up the good work on your channel. Everyone give
we will watch along Saturday night.
Yeah, watch along Saturday night. Red Corner Boxing. What is that? Sorry?
Shameful plug.
No problem at all. Red Corner Boxing. Give them a subscribe on YouTube. They're doing great things, getting some great content out. We've got a league going at the moment with our prediction shows. So the predictions you've heard on here, you'll find on their channel as well. Hopefully, we're going to have some good ones and some correct ones. If we don't, that's just the way things go. So thanks, guys, for coming on. If everyone can just give my channel a like, subscribe, comment. That's it, mate. And all your interaction is massively, massively appreciated. I've had some new subscribers again lately, and big love to everybody that's supported my channel and through the tough time I've had once again. Everyone knows who they are. And enjoy the boxing on Saturday night. Thank you.
God bless y'all.